All right, so yeah, I'll just introduce the episode anyway. So this is like episode number 2 of A Blank Canvas, and we can actually say it is backed by popular demand because people did actually really like the first episode. I got a great response out of it. Much to your surprise.
Very much to my surprise. Ignore this, audience.
That's a great introduction to the episode, just pouring a big pint of Guinness. So I can
only talk to you when I'm fucking drunk, like.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Most people can. Anyway, if you want to download those images there, we'll get off with the first one. So this week, because you can tell by your reaction already, you're just annoyed. So there was a very serious emphasis on painting in last month's episode. So for this particular month, I decided to switch it up a bit and kind of focus more on installations and art that makes you think, Jamie, and it really will make you think. So if you could, your audio's gone at the moment. Oh no, it just came in there. If you want, you good? Yeah.
Am I good? Testing 1 2 1 2.
If you want to tell us what you can see on the first slide of the PDF that I sent you over there is.
This is going to definitely make me think. So glad to be back. I first thought it was a jockstrap.
No, it's not a jockstrap.
Have you ever worn like a jockstrap or a cup? I mean, I'm going to show my.
Are you asking if I've ever did sports?
My privilege, my posh side is. It reminds me of wearing a cup when I had to play cricket in school. But we are looking at something that is very much that cup shape. If anyone is familiar with it. It looks larger than it, though. It looks kind of ceramic. In the middle of the curvy kind of triangle shape, we've got like some vertical circles. Right? Mm-hmm. They look like incisions, or like they look like they're drilled in, like with a screwdriver. Not a screwdriver, like a drill. And then a triangle of the similar indents underneath. I have no idea what this is. This is. I don't even like. This looks like something you'd find in the skip on a building site.
Have you noticed that it's signed?
Yeah, no, I was about to get to that. It says
R. Mutt.
1917.
Yeah.
So I assume this is some sort of archaic, either like medical device or like it served a function in 1917.
Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, no, but honestly, when everyone sees it, it looks like something you'd find on a building site, and you don't really know what it is. And it looks kind of like a bathroom extension, or not extension, but part of a bathroom plumbing unit. So yeah, Baz, tell me what the fuck this is.
Well, it's called Fountain, and it's by French painter Marcel Duchamp. I think he's French. Yeah, he's French American, and it is actually a urinal.
Okay, it is a urinal. Yeah,
like
it's a urinal. It was a urinal, like.
And so this was made. It's a urinal turned upside down. This was made in 1917, as it's listed on the piece. And basically, what it was it was a comment on that art doesn't need to be this super glossy, like aesthetically pleasing thing. It should be turning more into the focus of being conceptual and thoughtful, rather than just being an image. So he actually submitted this to I don't know if it was an exhibition, but it was.
I'm taking notes on this, by the way.
It was work away. It was the Society of Independent Artists, is what it was called, and I think he was part of the jury. But basically, this whole thing was that it was proud to say that, look, we don't have a jury. So any artist, because they're trying to promote art, any artist can actually submit a piece and it will be displayed. But he submitted this to kind of like basically really, really test them. And they didn't display it. They hid it behind a curtain. And I think the kind of added joke, which is a real kind of, sophisticated joke, is that our Mutt was like a character in a comic book, like that you would have seen in a newspaper. He was one of the characters. So it was signing off as a colloquial character that everybody would have known. And it was in New York. But it was basically like like you're submitting all these beautiful pieces of paintings. I'm going to submit a thing that people piss in, and then have the audacity to call it a fountain as well, which is quite fun, because you would think this kind of like grandiose kind of idea.
Yeah, the fountain name threw me off. So is this the start of
This is yeah. Go on. Sorry, I was.
So is it so art up to a point must have been. Here's a pretty picture. Here's a pretty sculpture. Look at it. It's nice. To a degree, I'm making you think, but generally, it's nice to look at. Did it start at some point where people were like, as this guy is doing it, where he's kind of like, let's push the boundaries and let's almost push the art nerds into believing this is art, even though this is clearly not fucking art.
It kind of is, though. I quite think it's genius.
Oh,
to be honest.
Fuck off. How is this art?
I love that. I think
off.
this is. It's just. I just like it.
Sorry. So the two notes I wrote down: conceptual and thoughtful.
Okay.
What's artistic about?
That's the artistic point of it, is that it makes you think. Like, it's kind of like, does art always have to be this kind of gleaming, like well-made piece of like super stylistic? Fine.
Well, okay.
If you're getting annoyed by this one, by the way, you're going to get so annoyed later on. Because this is considered like one of the most.
The issue I have with this one is, and again, let me just, as I said in the last episode, I love this stuff at the same time, because it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and he's making a career out of it. But the issue I have with this is like, it's not even like he's painted this or he's made it. He's just ripped it out of a nightclub wall.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So fair play to it.
But this is genuinely considered like one of the most important pieces of contemporary art ever, like ever.
But because it's the birth of art.
It's the birth of critical. I'd say it's the birth of like what's the word I'm looking for?
Can you
like
hear the seagulls?
Flipping.
I'm worried about your audio.
No, I can't hear them. It's like basically flipping.
A gang of seagulls who they live in my roof.
No, I can't hear them. I think we're good. They live on your roof.
Good. They drive me nuts. Yeah, man, they're up there fucking kicking about. It freaks the cat out.
I'd say it drives the cat fucking crazy. But no, this is kind of like the first kind of example of like making people really kind of think of stuff more in like not in just use, but in kind of shape and form and all that kind of carry on and contextually. Which is, again, I find myself when I talk about art using fucking buzzwords like that.
Thing to start that off.
Oh yeah, it's a very kind of like it's a very an immediate reaction rather than kind of like but it was rejected, but he knew it was going to be rejected. But the whole point of submitting it was like, you're priding yourself on this idea that you can submit anything and anything will be exhibited, and he wanted to really just basically go, you're all full of shit, like. But yeah, it was hidden behind like a cloth, I think.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Will we move on to painting number 2?
The idea behind it. It does seem like a very small urinal. Is another thing.
When I first saw it, it took me a while to realize that it was a urinal. It just looks. I know it's turned upside down, but it just doesn't. I've never seen a urinal look anything similar to it. But yeah, it is, especially like, you have to bear in mind, like, that's 1917. You know, women couldn't even go down to a beach where, like the idea of submitting like, they couldn't go down to the beach, and people would measure the length of their swimsuit. Like, that's how you were still living in that type of society. But to submit a urinal,
bring them back.
But to submit a urinal is a ballsy statement, like, and then to sign it, like, the signature R mud is kind of lost on me now, to be honest. But I'd say at the time, it gave people quite a laugh. But we'll move on.
They did a right bloody gig.
Yeah, I'd say they had a good.
That's in the war as well, isn't it?
During World War II. Yeah, there's lads fighting over in Germany, and he's submitting urinals. Basically, sitting in the trenches, somebody shouts forward, and you have to run at like machine gun fire. But anyway, so this is kind of a precursor to this. So the next one is Henri Matisse. Oh no, I won't say what it is. You tell me what it is. Sorry, I completely skipped the whole structure of this podcast.
Yeah.
Tell me
the structure, man. None of rules, you know, anything. Okay, so 4 naked people, but they're not very
5. Can you count?
Perfectly. Sorry, 5. Sorry, too many Guinness. 5 people who are not perfectly like dimensioned. Some of them look a bit odd looking, naked in a ring, holding hands. like really basic colors. Like all the people are the same color, this kind of like peachy orange. They're on a hill. There's blue in the background. One's got a funny tummy. She's a girl, so she looks kind of like she's pregnant, or like maybe just kind of the way her tummy looks. This looks like I could have drawn it and painted it. I'm sure you're going to tell me why this is important. But overall, am I missing something here?
No.
I clearly am.
No, you're not. I don't think you are. Do you like it? Would you call it aesthetically pleasing?
I mean, like, good vibes, people dancing, vibing, like that. I kind of like the fact that they're all kind of weird looking to a degree, you know what I mean? Like, only the kind of the body on the left looks very much like a normal shape.
Person,
the rest look a bit odd.
Like, look at the arse on the front, the very front one.
Yeah, that's what or no, the girl on the right, the far right.
Yeah. Like, yeah. That's the proportions.
I'm sorry, there's no penis. Actually, no, that's only because the guy on the left, the one on the left only. Yeah, I don't see any penises. So
do you want to see penises? Marks.
Yeah.
I'll put that on on for the next list.
Overall, like nice piece of art. Kind of like the colors, but simple. Yeah.
Well, the whole point to it is actually simplicity. So this is Henri Matisse, The Dance. Yeah. It was painted in 1910. So if you notice, there's only 4 colors in it, which was like at the time, like, what are you doing? The shapes of all, as like you basically got it down to an absolute T. The shapes of it are drawn purposely kind of childlike. It's meant to be more. So it was painted in a response to improvements in photography skills. Everything was becoming more clinical and more like absolute as it was in imagery. So this was kind of painted more. So he actually commented on on photography saying, the painter no longer has to preoccupy himself with details. The photograph is there to render the multitude of details 100 times better and more quicker. Plastic form will present emotion as directly as possible and by the simplest means. So he's basically saying, like, why would you bother painting things to look the way that it is when we have photography to already do that? So, like, let's kind of move into this more primitive, I'd say, because I know he had a big thing for cave paintings. So if you look at it, like even the color of the people, it is like a cave. Yeah. So that was the point. Basically, it was to kind of what do you call it? Just subvert people's opinion on what a painting should be. So I'm showing you these two for a reason, but it's kind of it's just a different way of thinking about painting. I like it. Yeah, I actually really like it, and it was originally painted. I think he had a Russian friend whose name was Sergei. I'm gonna fuck this up. Sergei Shukshin, which is not great. But it was actually displayed. So it was painted in 1910, and I don't think it went to a gallery. I think it actually went to his house, and it was displayed in his like hall with a musical piece called.
I put it in my hall too.
Yeah, I think it's pretty big. I forgot to write the measurements down, but I think it's a pretty big painting. But it was displayed alongside a piece of music there. And I think it was bought. It stayed there until 1917, and then the Russian Revolution happened, and they had to get the fuck out of there, and it was moved somewhere else. Yeah, fair. But yeah, it's quite a nice. It's a very tricky. Tricky would be an understatement. I don't think anybody is. You just like
the lads committing urinals during the World War. Like, what are you at?
Anthony Beaver writing down like the number 1 historian in the world writes down the Russian Revolution. Tricky. It's tricky. So
it reminds you of that song "We Can Dance If You Want To."
Men Without Hats. Yeah, it fucking definitely is like that. That's amazing, actually. I'm never gonna get that in my head when I see it. But But again, it's one of these paintings that people cite as like one of the most famous paintings, one of the most important paintings. But it was just I just thought I'd chuck it in. Like we started with Picasso, so we might as well start with Henri. I can never remember. It's Henri. I'm assuming that's Henri, not Henry. But I should research this before we started.
You're fucking English or you're fucking French.
True. Now we'll move on to slide number 3.
Come on. I was looking at it. As because I can see I've got like a side scroller, which is kind of ruining surprise me. I was looking at it, and it reminded me of. Have you ever seen? Like aerial photos of farmland?
Yes.
That's what I thought it looked like. It looked like obviously there's blues. Sorry, actually, I have to describe what I'm looking at here. It's literally a square with rectangles within it, like much smaller rectangles, maybe like 20 rectangles in it, of different shades of kind of like blue, dark blues and blacks, a few whites, and kind of dirty yellows. So when I was looking at it, and even when I look at it now, I thought of farmland, but like, what is this telling me? Man, I don't like. Again, appreciated that. I hope this sold for millions because I could do this. So there's hope for me.
You couldn't.
Is the sequencing of the colors meant to mean anything, or the placing of colors? No, it's random. Like
it's not random.
It's pointless. But I assume the reason why it's pointless is there's a reason why it's pointless.
It's not pointless, and it's 100% not random. What tell you who it is?
Okay, so it's not random.
No, it's not random.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is Sean Scully. He's actually Irish. He's one of Ireland's most famous painters. If you go up to the Hugh Lane Gallery, he has his own room in it. I think it's the Hugh Lane. It is the Hugh Lane Gallery.
Okay.
And he also, like, he's literally considered Ireland's probably considered Ireland's best living painter at the moment. But his style comes.
My head to try and see it from a different angle.
No, like it is what it is. He's been doing this kind of stuff for years. So this is part of a series called Walls of Light. Now, we were told, I used to hate him mindlessly because he I was told by my teacher that he was going to come up on the Leaving Cert for the art history exam, and he didn't. God bless Sylvia Plath. Studied him for ages, but his structure, I was told, originally was based off he had a trip to the Aran Islands, and it's based off the walls. So it's interesting that you said the farm thing. Okay. But this particular one is actually based off a long night drive in the Nevada desert is what this is based off. But all the colors are, yeah, I know, you can see your face. So this is called Wall of Light Desert Night. And honestly,
while on acid or something.
Do you know what's the annoying thing? Ayahuasca, probably. But ayahuasca, or peyote. What's the other one? Peyote. But all the colors are based off the visuals that he saw. But you know what's hilarious? This is really what's funny was I put him on because I was just like, I'm going to put Sean Scully on because I always have to put an Irish artist on. I hate Sean Scully. And as I was putting this kind of episode together, doing the research for it, I began to really like him.
You like it?
I really like this.
Like visually, like I think it's nice.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I'm like looking at it's nice, like colors and squares, but like from my very well informed artistic opinion, I don't like. What are you telling me? I don't know. But so what? Nevada night.
Yeah.
So
no, desert night, I think. He's painting colors, and like I think like night. Certain textures are meant to represent like terrain, and then others are meant to represent like people and buildings and stuff. But all the like if you ever see him, there's videos of him like planning out how he applies the paint. And it's not some mindless kind of slap a bit here, slap a bit there. It's like an extremely calculated, and it's layer and layer and layer and layer and layer. It's not some random. Well, I suppose you could pretend that it is. Mindless. I suppose it is.
But at the same time, so like he's saying it's mindlessly. I'm applying like so once everyone sees it, it's just really like it's structured rectangles.
Yeah.
But the only structure is just the rectangles. Everything else is just random colors.
They're not random.
So it is mindless.
They're not random though, and the lines aren't random either. Like they are. It is planned. I would love to pretend that it's him just going like bit of paint here, put this line through here, but it's not. It's like there's a geometric pattern to it. Like,
okay, but what are those lines? Okay, so, all right, Baz, focus. Let's go right hand side. See the two white blocks and the yellow and the kind of bluey one on the right?
Yeah.
On the right hand side.
I'm gonna get caught out
What's
here.
that?
I don't know.
Besides it, what I mean, like, okay, so I understand you're saying it's not mindless because it's all in rigid rectangles. But what's not mindless about it besides that? Like, what is it?
It's abstract expressionism.
Oh, you fucking, that is a cheat. That is a cheat. You are a fraud. You're a fraud. You just threw, okay, do you know what that'd be like? That'd be like it being in some sort of fucking business meeting and someone goes, so tell me how this is going to work. And someone just goes, synergy?
It was a good answer though, because you can't argue with
bullshit. It's bullshit.
Uh,
No, so it's mindless. Sean Scully is a brilliant fraud.
He's not. I don't. He's. Do you know actually? If you go up to,
He's a fraud.
He's a fraud. Okay. Well, if you go up to Smithfield Square, he's on display there on the little. You know, they're trying to bring people back into museums and stuff.
It's all the stuff like this.
Not all of it. He does quite a large portion of this, but he does some cool installation stuff. I think he did a glass thing recently, but he's an interest, like he is actually, I used to, like, as I said, putting this together, I've begun to actually quite like it and quite find the kind of niceness to looking at it. It is nice. Like, it is nice to look at. He does a couple of ones with that are more in vein of the Iron Island stuff. They're like muddier browns and oranges and stuff. But I get, like, you want.
First, I get the Iron Island thing. Like, I get the
wall
the
structure.
higgledy-piggledy stone walls, and like when you look down on it, like, I get that. I'd struggle with it's structured after that, because all that's structured about this is the shapes.
I have to see if I can find a video of him putting them together, and you can just see. But anyway, I put him in because, like, as I said, I didn't like it. And I was like, James is going to hate this guy. He's going to go to town on him. And then as I was doing notes, I was just like, I actually kind of like him. So what do you think?
I've gone to town on at the same time. So, you know, Jamie don't get art. Jamie like picture. Yeah, like it. But when you push the boundaries and say this is structured and it has meaning, I'm like, no, it's not.
Okay. But I do get...
Actually, it was more you're a fraud.
I am. I'm just a big art snob, like, to be honest. But we'll go to slide number 4 here and tell me what you see.
Oh, pretty colors. Looks like an album color. How do I describe it? Kind of a prism of light, but there is a bit of a shape to it. Like rainbow colors, but there's black in it. The thing that stands out to me is it looks like someone's kind of like doing that. Do you see the shape I'm making there? Do you see that?
Yeah,
do you see that shape?
Yeah.
Kind of like a dude kind of sticking it out like that.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
You see that chest kind of thing with the arm?
Yeah.
Again, like the previous one, it's nice to look at.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
And it looks, if it's, I don't know how it's painted or how it's done or whatever, it looks like skilled.
It's an oil painting.
Which is the other thing with the previous one, it's an oil painting. Like, it looks very, very highly skilled. But you know me, I need to see like a landscape but in fairness, I actually like it. I think it's pretty, but I again, what's it telling me? I don't know. I mean, okay, if we could talk through it, it's going light to top. It's light colors top right, and as we drag towards this chest thing I'm seeing, it gets darker, and then it's darker towards the bottom. So Barrett, it's like light progressing into the dark.
Do you want me to tell you what it is? Like with the actual images?
Yeah, please do.
So the image is actually a super close-up of a flower. So
okay.
Yeah. Now this is by George O'Keeffe, and George O'Keeffe is probably she's definitely one of the best. It'd be weird to say she's the best of artists, female artists of the 20th century, and just artists in general. She was fantastic. But the reason why I picked these particular she was very famous for these type of paintings, but she had an issue where her husband, I don't know why he did this, because when you look at that, you say, you know, it's a flower, right? Like when you look at it now, you know it's a flower.
I can see like
And if you see the next one,
like the layering of the petals and stuff.
if you see the next one, what do you think that is? That's in the next slide is hers as well. That's also a flower.
Next one's that. Now you said so it's also a flower. The next one.
Yeah. What do you think it looks? What do you think that one looks like?
Yeah, you can. Do I have to say it?
It helps.
Well, a fire, but then.
All right, I'll say it because I had it written here.
I know.
She's been synonymous with being known as a woman who paints flowers that look like vulvas or vaginas. And the reason the
first one, no,
the first
one,
yeah. And the reason why that spread was because her husband Alfred Stieglitz, who was the guy who actually photographed, he took the only known photo of the fountain. He just kept saying that it was. This kind of thing has plagued her entire. She's dead now, unfortunately, but this notion that that's what they're of has plagued her career for decades, and it was because he actually spread it to the point that he would actually write reviews and essays to a bunch of critics, turn up at exhibitions and tell people that that's what they were, despite the fact that she actually said they're not. This is entirely false. The reason why she does the paintings in that kind of super close up of flowers is because she was inspired by like contemporary photography, which is like this magnified version of an image and the closeness of it. She was obsessed with that kind of stuff.
She's done these beautiful paintings, and then her prick husband is a bit of a kink, and he's like, it's all vaginas.
Yeah, I know, which has to be like the most kind of like, could you not have like, because they are absolutely gorgeous, and it's like you've sullied a kind of like a very beautiful and natural thing. There's like, into this kind of like softcore porn like this would have been the first painting came out in 1918, so it came out a year after the fountain. But it's like, and like all the stuff is like, of course like, she shows these beautiful paintings, they're gorgeous, then a guy just goes, yeah, there it's
vagina.
Yeah. it's unbelievable. It's and it plagued her career for years. She had to constantly come out and defend. Like, she did other stuff, but she did these lovely.
The more you've talked about vaginas, I actually can see one in the first one.
But this is what happened to me, was because when I was in NCD, somebody told me that she's the vagina artist, and I was just like, and that's all that I could see. And then a friend of mine, actually, who was a fan of hers, actually said, no, they're actually they are flowers, and she has said multiple times that they're flowers. And I actually was lucky. I was fortunate enough to see an exhibition of hers in the Tate, which I think had like 100 paintings of hers or something. Now, it cost me a fortune to get into it, but it was beautiful. And they are, like you see, like they're just gorgeous, vibrant, lovely, gorgeous painted flowers. She also did a couple of landscapes of like New Mexico and stuff that were beautiful as well. But I just have to put in there just to say, like, here's something beautiful and innocent, and then just her dickhead husband for whatever. Like, imagine going around an exhibition and going, handing out reviews and going, they're actually of vaginas. So the most asshole like talk about like toxic masculinity at a very early age.
Was that common? Or I mean I know it's not happened today, but it's where a man says, but was that more common in the art world back in the day, where I know like a girl would do something like this, and then the husband or partner or the photographer or whatever would take ownership of it and drive the agenda behind
there actually are like a few cases of husbands coming in or men coming in stealing artwork off female artists. Like, there was a famous one.
As in physically stealing it, is insane. I drew this.
I think both. Like, but like there was that film. I can't for the life of me.
It wouldn't surprise me. Let's be real.
No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And there was like there was that famous painter, that male painter, who took credit for these, like, you ever see those paintings with everybody in has these huge eyes, and like Johnny Depp played him. Johnny Depp did a film, it was like Bright Eyes, it was a Tim Burton film, but he took all the credit from his wife. And then I don't know if this was kind of like a woman painting maybe a nude was considered like a controversial subject matter that he just tried to amp up sales. I don't actually know the purpose of why he did what he did, but just true scumbag behavior. And the fact that it plagued her till her death. It's a good talking point. But I do have to say they are really beautiful. She also, this one, by the way, this painting, forgot to even talk about this painting, nice is Music Pink and Blue #2. So it's like, I think she did a series of them, but she was fascinated with music. So this is meant to kind of illustrate like a combination of nature and like fluidity and movement with music. So she commented on saying she fascinated by music and painting, saying the idea that music can be translated into some. Oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot to copy and paste the rest of the quote. But God damn it. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, that's George O'Keeffe. I wanted to put her in because she does have this kind of stupid reputation of being the one who painted, flowers as vaginas, but that's not what they are. And it's such a shame that some dickhead had to go and sully that kind of thing with them, because at face value, as what they are, flowers, which is what they are, they're beautiful. But just thought it'd be interesting to drop her in. So we'll go to slide number 6, Jamie.
Right. Okay. All right. That's more. Okay. So we are looking at a real nasty looking scene, but it's a bed or mattress, bed and mattress. It's modern enough because I can see like absolute vodka bottles. But anyway, it's a real kind of dirty looking mattress. I'll get to Kermit the Frog looking thing in a second. But real dirty. We've got on the foreground of the picture, we've got we've got a blue rug covered in like wank tissues and vodka. Real nasty looking scene. I can actually think of a friend who lives like this.
We both can.
Say his name. Yeah.
This clip is being sent to him right after.
What I'm talking about. He knows who he is.
Oh, I'm sending it to him right after we're done.
Okay. And I'll get to the luggage because the luggage definitely means something in the background. But then there's this. I thought of Kermit the Frog initially just because it was green, but I don't think Kermit has legs like that.
I think you're the first person to ever
that's
think
the mystery
that was Kermit the Frog. Does he have legs?
Does he have legs? Do you ever see his legs? I mean, obviously he's a puppet, so it's I don't know. But do they ever do some sort of
He does have legs, yeah. Yeah, he does. He has these little dangling things.
He does have legs. Yeah. Okay, then it's the Grinch. It's the Grinch. It's the Grinch. The Grinch is in his bed, or this person's bed. I'm assuming it's a dude because most girls don't live like this. But yeah, and that's a generalization. Girls are nasty too. Girls are nasty too. And then, so yeah, real nasty scene. That's the title of the show, man.
Girls are nasty too. Oh, we have the new title. Yeah, we had hello. So now we're gonna go with girls are nasty too.
And then I assume the luggage has caught my eye as well. As in, so it's an absolute shitstorm in the foreground, and then the mid. What's the middle of a painting or picture called?
I would just say the center.
Center, and then in the background there's luggage. Is this a photo or a painting?
That's a photo. It's a photograph. So it's a sculpture. Okay. It's submitted as a sculpture.
It's a sculpture.
Yeah, it's technically a sculpture, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, I thought you meant actually when someone actually made this. As in,
well, no, they didn't make the bed.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
So what is it?
This is one of the most famous or probably infamous pieces of artwork from the 90s. This is Tracey Emin, and it's called My Bed from 1999. This is basically, so she was part of do you remember I was talking about the young British artist that Herstog was a part of, and so was Jenny Saville from the last podcast that we did. Do you remember Damien Hirst and you hated him?
Vaguely.
Yeah, well, she was part of this movement as well. But basically, this is Tracey Emin went through an extreme bout.
I do remember.
Yes, she went through an extreme bout of depression and suicidal thoughts, and she stayed in that bed for I think 2 weeks, and that's the bed as is when she left. So she just submitted the bed. So it has used condoms on it. You can clearly see it's filthy. She was drinking in it. I think the cigarette butts on it, around it and stuff. But it's a very to be fair though, it is one of those images that anybody who's getting into art, I would say if they're teaching you in a portfolio course, or if you're going into NCD or IDT or DIT, any of the ones, or Limerick, she's probably one of the artists that they will show you straight away because of how prolific she is. And they'll probably show you this piece because this piece is extremely famous. But originally it was bought by Charles Saatchi for $150,000. And it was so, and he, by the way, he built a room in his house to display it in. So
when you say bought, what did he buy? Just the
he
image
bought
of
the,
it?
no, he bought the bed. He bought the actual bed. Which is the same, like, oh. He installed the bed in a dedicated room in his own home. So he would just, like, imagine just opening your door and just looking at it with your morning coffee. It must, like, there must be.
Again, I mean, like, I have seen a similar enough scene to this.
Yeah. But, so have I. Probably not as bad as this. It is a very immediate representation of what it's like to be depressed, though. It's quite a...
No. It's a very very real and what's the word? Not understandable, but whatever the word is when you can relate to it. Relatable. I mean, I've never done quite this, but I mean, I have. I
can hear Janet laughing in the back.
I mean, it's not quite. I haven't done this, but yeah, no, depression does look like this.
Yeah, it's pretty like it's.
Did anyone ever address the luggage? That's what caught my eye.
I think that was just what was on her bed when she got out of it. Like everything is as it, well, as she says it is as is. I don't know if she moved a little few bits.
I know the thing, like Nadia describes the depression scene. Is that in my head? I think is that some sort of like happy escape?
I don't know.
Like the bags are packed. She'll get out of here eventually.
I don't think there's any kind of hidden meaning to it. I literally think she got out of bed, turned around, and went, "That's an art piece." That's from my understanding of it. She has talked about it in depth about it before, but as from what I gather from listening to her
does she address the Grinch?
I don't think that's the Grinch, and I think you're the very first person ever to say that's the Grinch. Or Kermit, by the way.
It looks like the Grinch's bottom two legs. Like it looks like the Grinch's bottom two legs. Like Jim Carrey? Yeah, Jim Carrey played Grinch.
You're nobody has ever said that, but anyway.
I mean, I don't know what to take away from the piece because I think because it is relatable. I'm like, this is actually kind of good. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna be like that weird.
Yeah, why would you buy it? Is the big thing, but, yeah. And then put it in your. But, I can understand.
No, I do want to get to the bottom. Who fucked the Grinch?
I don't know. We'll have to get Tracy Emin on the line for the next podcast and ask her.
What do you see? Okay, like again,
I see like a teddy bear. I don't think it's the Grinch though.
What sort of fucking teddy bear looks like those kind of spindly octopus legs?
I don't know. Like, is there like a concrete design for what teddy bears should look like?
There literally is a concrete design for what teddy bears should look like, man. There is a curvy ears with the round face and a round body and four things coming off it. There's literally a design for it.
I walked into that one. But
you're a fraud, man.
I'm not a fraud. Well, that's a new title for it. I'm a fraud. But how much do you think it sold for? It sold in 2014. How much do you think it sold for?
We said 150.
No, it originally was bought for 150. It sold for more.
Okay. When was it sold?
2014.
Year? Okay, we'll count for inflation. Carry the 2 across the I. 1.8 million.
2.5. 2000.
No, I'm not far off.
2,546,500 is what it sold for at auction. It was originally estimated to be 1.2
Again,
million.
the original piece.
The original piece.
The original stinky bed.
Well, it's funny you mention the original piece because I can't remember what year it was, but there was a group of Chinese performance artists, 2 guys who jumped on the bed and had a pillow fight and submitted that as an art piece called A Pillow Fight on Tracy Emin's Bed. And that genuinely was considered an art piece.
In London, the controversial Turner Prize continues to dominate the headline. The exhibit, My Bed by Tracy Emin at the Tate Gallery, a filthy, unmade bed in which Emin supposedly lay whilst contemplating suicide, had to undergo emergency repair work after 2 performance artists used it to stage a pillow fight.
It was so exciting.
Yeah, it was.
Really exciting.
We want to take our clothes off because we originally had isms. It's kind of writing tattoos on our body which express our ideas. And we want to do performance related to Tracy's object.
I had to go in, you know, early in the morning. Jay had to take me in. We had to go in the back way through the Tate because all the press were outside. Then I had to go in there and all the gallery had been cleared out. And then I had to remake the bed again. Then I was crying.
The two men were arrested, but later released without charge.
Can you imagine us just running into to an exhibition, jumping on a piece like that, and just going art?
I could imagine me. That is exactly the kind of art I like. This is bullshit. I'm gonna go fucking rip the piss and sell it for how much? 2.5 million.
2.5 million.
That's me all over. I love that.
Imagine like one of the worst moments in your life. You could basically monetize it.
Did she get the 150 off the original weird dude who bought it?
She would have got. I think she would have got the 150,000. Yeah, if the original dude, Charles Saatchi, who was the guy who, I would imagine if he bought it, Charles Saatchi probably got the 2.5 million. Okay, yeah, but he did have it in his room. He had a special room for it in his house. Charles Saatchi's weird. He was the guy. Like I think he just loves controversy. He was the guy who also he's best friends with Herzog as well. So if you want to go to the next piece. And let me know what you think of this.
How did he preserve it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Look up Charles Saatchi. Iraqi businessman.
Is that what it says? Is he Iraqi?
That's Iraqi British businessman and co-founder with his brother of advertising agency Saatchi
he is
and
Iraqi.
Saatchi.
That's him.
Anyway, okay, we'll move on. I like to relate to the piece, so it's good. I mean, I'm not going to buy it.
You need 3 million.
Okay. I mean, I have the money now. So this is interesting. I mean, it's a landscape piece. It looks American, kind of. Looks like, you know, wherever the Grand Canyon is. Who the fuck's the Grand Canyon? Arizona? Nevada? I don't know.
Nevada, I think.
But yeah, big grand landscape piece.
It's in Las Vegas.
With a road running through it. Las Vegas, so that's Nevada, yeah. Yeah, big grand landscape photo. If it's painted, I'd be amazed. With a road running through it, real kind of meandering feel to it, with a red Camaro driving through. And the big piece is the red curtain across the valley. What is this valley telling me? I initially thought it was like a lava flow.
Oh yeah, interesting. It does look like that, to be fair. If you go to the next photo, you can see
the black rocks.
It's actually like it's real. This isn't a doctored image. If you go to the next image.
Right. Okay. Now that I see the next image, why? Like why?
So I put this in.
Sorry, Barry, is this art or some sort of construction project?
It's both.
Okay, sorry, I understand what I say. You're saying it's both, but like this was built as to be art rather than a construction project that ended up.
Oh yeah. This is from the mind of Jean-Claude and Christo, who did tons of stuff like this. They were installation artists, environmental artists, but this, you know, the way you said last time we recorded, it was like, does all art have to have a meaning? This is art that doesn't. This is just literally just an aesthetic. But I think this is one of their biggest projects. They did stuff where they had wooden doorways that you would walk through Central Park, which went the whole way to Central Park. I think they wrapped up an island in the Bahamas. They do all these kind of mad visual installations, but there's no kind of massive meaning to them other than they're just meant to be gorgeous to look at. But the statistics for this are kind of mad. It took.
Well, I'll stop you there on the gorgeous to look at. As a dude who, you know, only posts photo on Instagram of kind of like nights out or pretty landscapes, this is, I hate this.
Do you really?
This is a beautiful landscape. They've thrown a fucking dirty red curtain over it.
Oh wow! I never heard that.
The only time I get a photo, the only time I take a photo, man, honestly, is I take a photo of my cat or something pretty like a landscape or like the sea or something like that. It's the only time I get my phone, honestly, unless something really stupid's happening. I don't know, like your friend's doing something stupid. But even then, I don't even get it out. So like, if this was me sitting on this hill taking a photo, I would. But this big fucking red curtain, I hate. This is shit.
Do you think this is shit? Genuinely, do you think this is shit? Or are you
shit?
Oh my god, I can't believe you think this is shit.
What's
I
good
think
about this? I don't. But okay, so what? But like, what's visually like? What do you like about it?
It just looks nice.
It looks terrible.
Do you think it? I think it looks lovely.
Terrible.
I think you are the
Are we
first
looking at the
person.
same photo? You're looking at this amazing V-shaped valley
Yeah.
if the big dirty fucking red curtain wasn't there, you'd be looking at this even
It's
bigger,
not
like
dirty.
grand space. This beautiful grand space, and instead, I've got half the photo cut off by a fucking red curtain.
I don't know what to
It's
tell you. I
shit.
think
It's like I hate it. I've never hated a piece of art. This is art. I thought it was just some weird construction project. This is shit.
I can't
This
believe
is
you don't like it.
again, Bar. This is me.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a,
I know.
as a-
Yeah.
As a guy who
I
only gets
can't
his phone
believe you
out
don't
to
like
take
it.
photos of pretty landscapes.
Do you know how long it lasted? It took 28 months
I don't
to
give a
make.
fuck. It just should have been taken down straight away.
Should we
man.
just move on to the next one then?
No, let's talk about it more. Explain to me how you think this is good.
I just like it. That's the whole point. I put it in because it doesn't have to have like some big philosophical. It just looks nice.
Okay,
In
no,
my
I understand
opinion.
it doesn't have to have a big philosophical meaning. I get that, but aesthetically and visually, look, what you like about it?
I don't know. I just think it just looks nice. I just think it's big and colorful.
But it's not big. It's ruined the real thing that is.
It's
actually
fucking
big behind it.
huge. What are you talking about? It goes across
no.
the whole valley.
But what's actually big behind this is this huge valley you're looking into. That's the big thing. It's hiding the big thing.
Is it though?
Am I becoming a critic? Am I
Kinda,
becoming
yeah.
a critic?
You don't
I
like
hate
Jean-Claude
it.
and Christo?
I really don't like it.
You're the first person I've ever met that doesn't like Jean-Claude and Christo. They're a lovely couple that made
I
lovely
have
work.
no understanding of how anyone would like. I don't get it. How
You're
do
not
you
meant
think
to
that's
get it.
good?
Oh, I just think it's great. Like,
No, sorry, I don't get. I get that it's these guys who do things that have no meaning. I get that. I get that there's not meant to be meaning. I just don't get why people think it looks better than what could have been there. Because that photo, do you know what, man? That photo is such a fucking classic dude photo with the Camaro driving along, and then it's just ruined by this red curtain.
you're entitled to your
Bullshit.
opinion. I can't. Okay. But it took
It's
20.
bullshit.
It took 28 months to make. 33 construction workers, 64 temporary helpers, 27 ropes that secured 18,600 square meters of woven nylon fabric orange curtain that stretched 11.3 kilometers, which is 7 miles. It took it really realistic. Weirdly enough, it took 28 months to make, and it came down in 28 hours. It only lasted 28 hours. It was suspended from a width of 381 meters, high curving of 111 meters. It's enormous. I can't believe you don't like it. I'm actually kind of upset. I thought you'd really like it.
I hate it.
I genuinely put it
No,
in going,
because it's really, like I said, I love big grand pictures and landscapes. That just is no. I hate it.
I'm genuinely shocked. Okay.
Why are you genuinely shocked at that?
I genuinely thought she'd I
Of all
thought she'd
the
go.
things you're shocked at.
I thought she'd go like, this is gonna be. I was like, put it in. Go. Jamie's gonna think this is so cool. Not. I hate this. Get this piece of
I
shit.
like big projects. I like big things. I like big. I don't know, like construction projects or like big art pieces. Like I think they're cool. But like, I don't know. I just know there's a lovely picture behind that I'd get out and get my.
Get it for the gram.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was there and I saw it, I'm like, this is pretty cool. But the actual, what's actually there?
So basically, you're like,
Well,
this
stood
is
there
pretty
for
cool,
ages.
but it's blocking my chance to get Instagram likes.
No, not Instagram likes. No, not at all. No,
Facebook.
like, I take no. Sorry, like so half. Like no, sorry. 90% of the pretty photos, I take my phone. I see something nice. Don't go on Instagram whatsoever. Sure, like no, not at all.
I've seen the photos that you
Like-
that you put on Instagram. They're lovely, and then it's just you with the orangutan, which was the last one.
Exactly. Like no, I think they've deleted Instagram at the moment.
Yeah, you're probably better off. I have to use it because I get work out of
I
it.
don't know,
But
come back. But yeah, no, like I don't like it.
all right, well, we'll move on to slide number 9. Now, I'll be very interested to hear what you think of this one, because this is.
Who is that?
Do you recognize the mugshot? It is a mugshot, by the way.
Yeah. it's a mugshot, but it's made up. When you look at it in detail, it kind of looks like a microchip that's been like warped or like ruined in the rain a little bit. Do you not see that at all, Bar?
I do see that.
Do you not
It's
see the
yeah, but
microchip
see, I know how it was made, so I can't see the microchip thing now, to be honest. But I can see that what you're talking about with the warp.
Did you ever seen like when you pull off like a motherboard?
Yeah, I've smashed phones before.
Yeah, but you know when you pull it off and you see like all the circuits running around.
I can see what you mean. Just I know how it's made, so I can't stop seeing how it's made.
And the person in the photo I recognize, but I don't know why I recognize her.
Her, yeah.
So it's not a her. That's why
it is a her. It is a her. No, it is a her. Yeah, it is a her. No, I'm not tricking you. It is a her.
But yeah, like a black and white, to me, it looks like a motherboard kind of corrupted in the rain. It's kind of cool. How's it made? What is it?
So, by the way, it's absolutely fucking huge. It is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's massive. I forgot to include an image of how big it is, but it's probably like the height of like a normal hall wall. Like it's really, 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 really big. But it's made from the painter. His name is what is his name again? Marcus Harvey. And what he did was he was a young British artist as well. He would have exhibited at Sensation, which is one of the same exhibitions in 1995 that Damien Hirst also exhibitioned at. So he was a strange guy. It's 9 by 11 feet is the measurements for it, and it was made using a plaster cast of a child's hand that was then dipped in the paint and painted with. So it's like dabbed on with their hand.
That's brilliant. That's so fucking weird.
Do you know who the woman in the photo is?
So it's plaster cast.
Plaster cast. So like the stuff that you'd make a cast out of, and then it's a child's hand, and then he'll dip it in paint and go. But do you know? But the main thing is, do you know who the woman is? That's Myra Hindley. Do you remember her?
I recognize her.
She was known as the most evil woman in Britain. She was involved in the Moore murders, where they killed 5 children from 1963 with Ian Brady. But that would have been, like my mum knows. She knows that mugshot. She says when I was in London, you saw that mugshot. Everybody knows who that mugshot is. But it's just bizarre.
That's why I knew. That's why I did recognize her.
Yeah, it's bizarre that it's like when I saw it, it was kind of like. It is an interesting image, but the fact that it's done with the plaster cast of a child's hand, and I don't think they ever proved that she killed the children, but Ian Brady definitely did. But she might have been an accomplice or something like that. But I'm assuming that she was involved in some part of murdering them. She's just as much as guilty as your man is. But to use a child's hand, I remember hearing that the first time, and I was like, and you know me, I heard this when I was 19. I was into like anything to be edgy. At that age,
explain the hand to me again. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid.
So basically, like so they get a kid's hand and would put it in plaster, and then they would leave that to sit. So like, do you ever see like in Lord of the Rings how they did the Hobbit's feet? Do you know that it'd be like you literally have a mold of a hand, and then you just dip it in paint, and then just collage it basically the whole way around. Just with bits of paint, using a child.
Because it's so big. Okay. Yeah. Because it's so big. Okay.
But it'd be like so basically.
Sorry,
it's like it's like
again. I thought it was filled.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. But it's like using basically like a like you know like you ever in play school or primary school when you had to do the hand paintings with your hand. He basically did that just with the child.
You're painting with sponges.
Yeah. He basically did that with a child's hand of a child murderer.
That's fucked.
Isn't it? Yeah. I saw when I heard that the first time. Even I was just like, that's fucking grim. Like, do you even have that idea? And his yeah. What do you think of it now? Now that you know how it was made, his rationale was when he was asked to speak about it. Like as I said, she was known as the most evil woman in Britain. Everybody knew this mugshot, so this went down. You can imagine this didn't go down very well when it was shown. And it was shown at Sensation, which was like an exhibition that just, in my opinion, was just there to piss people off. But he said the whole point of the painting is the photograph. That photograph, the iconic power that it has, is a result of years of obsessive media reproduction. So it was kind of like kind of like a hint at like the media, like over, like, I don't know, kind of, you know, the way they do the same things with like serial killers in the States, where they just show this image, like sensationalizing it all.
Yeah.
So I think that was
I'd say it's one of those early ones, because I mean, but in fairness, so that was in the 60s, 70s. This person.
That was in the 90s.
Sorry,
so the murders were in the 60s. This was done in the 90s. But like the fact that it was seen so much times that he was able to bring it to the forefront in the 90s, and even my mum knew about it in the 90s, kind of says they were obviously still using it quite a bit. And I'm wondering, like, I think she went to trial for 30 years. She might have got out or something, I don't know. But like he says about her, he was saying, I know enough to know that she probably didn't do any of the murders, that she was just in a relationship where she probably too attached to the man who was doing it to extradite herself. Their life was probably too dull and boring to throw the relationship away. I don't believe that 30 years worth of a reputation is one of the most violent and notorious murders in British criminal history. Which I think he's kind of giving her a pass, to be honest. I still think she was...
Yeah, that sounds like a pass.
Yeah, that sounds like a pass as well.
I don't know, man. Guilty by association kind of thing. Well, no, it's a bit of a harsh, but like, she has a look about her. But yeah, no, sorry. I thought it was made at the time.
No. It's made 30 years
because
later.
we fucking love serial killers. Like, I mean, like I'm guilty. So it's like, I watch so many true crime shit, stuff like that.
Man, my
like
last
like the Netflix ones I watch.
Yeah. Like the reason why I got into doing podcasting was I became obsessed with your mom. No, My Favorite Murder and Your Mom's House is Tom Segura's one, but I wouldn't say that's what maybe.
Tom
Segura's one, but the other one was Last Podcast on the Left, and they do stuff about serial killers in extreme detail, and they're comedians, and I find it so interesting, and my dad finds it very disturbing that I find it that interesting. I think everybody likes a bit of true crime, but like serial killers is one. I don't know why I find it fascinating, but even as I say, I find it fascinating just thinking of the way that somebody thinks.
I think a lot of people do. I mean, like there's a reason Netflix keeps churning it out. Keeps churning out these, like, I mean, what was the reason? Like, they did.
There was one on your man who killed the girl in Cork. Well, they allegedly killed the one in Cork.
Well, in fairness, they did the podcast not first, and then they released two at a time on the pod, the Ian Bailey one down in Cork.
Ian Bailey,
Night Stalker, that was one I watched recently.
Oh, Richard Ramirez,
the fucking maniac in LA.
Yeah, the satanic guy. He went around indiscriminately from house to house. Richard Ramirez, he was a genuine Satanist. Like, he drew pentagrams on cars when he was leaving murder scenes and all this kind of carry on.
Yeah.
But
I know something about the old dark side of human. But I think it's mainly because, like, I think people find reassurance as, like, at least I'm not that guy.
Yeah, so I suppose that is one way of looking at it. That definitely is one way of looking at it. My life's not so bad. I'm not Jeffrey Dahmer, but
I can do whatever I want. At least I'm not, you know.
But in terms of like in taste, would you think this is in good taste or bad taste? Like, does it get its points across, or?
In a really sick way, yeah, maybe it does get it. So she killed kids, or this guy killed kids.
Killed five,
I mean, it's pretty nasty.
Killed five kids. In the known as the Moore murders.
I know, like. Sometimes you have to appreciate that the person, whoever's making the art, also knows the medium that they're doing it through. Surely, if you paint this girl's painting, just a painting, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
But the way that it's been done is going to generate more interest. Oh, yeah. If you're the person trying to make a book out of it, if I go, here, by the way, this was done by children.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a whole different thing.
So poor taste, bad taste. He can claim it's because, you know, they what's the word? They were predators and hurt children, but
it's not. It's not really. I don't think it's actually.
It's nasty. I think it's nasty.
It is. It is nasty.
I think it's exploiting.
It is exploitive, and I don't think it's actually an attack on her as like criminalizing her. I think it's just as much as a thing of saying like the media are just as responsible, that we all know exactly who that is the second we see it, in a kind of sensationalized thing of the murders.
Okay, yeah, I get that point.
Do you know it exhibited in? Yeah, no, it's still in poor. I still think it's in poor taste. I think it's a bit much, but it's still, I don't know. It's executed brilliantly. Like, it's a good idea, but there's just something unclean about it. But it was exhibited in New York nearly a decade later, and it had paint chucked all over it. somebody chucked white paint on it, and Rudy Giuliani, weirdly
I can
enough,
understand.
had a particular problem with it as well. He said it was disgusting. But we'll move on to... Oh, yeah, this was a weird one that I chucked in. I like this guy's work, and I just came across his painting. And just wondered, it's strange. Let me know what you think of this one.
It's bizarre looking, but do you know what it instantly reminds me of? Have you ever seen a fish called a sunfish? I think it's called. You ever seen a sunfish? They're the most bizarre looking creatures in the world, man. So these huge circular bodies. And I'm looking up as well just to make sure I got
they are bizarre looking. They actually look like a bad...
It looks like
a bad Photoshop kind of thing. They don't even have a back... Do they even have a back tail?
It's the most bizarre fish ever.
They don't even have a... they don't have a back fin.
I instantly thought of a sunfish.
No, it's not a sunfish.
I don't know how they work. This looks like a bad trip as well. Like the real blended colors. But anyway, we're looking at a giant... I mean, if for the people who know where sunfish are, it looks like a giant sunfish, but with arms.
There's an eye on it.
But it's this real... I think it looks like oil painting. It looks kind of... I like the way how it's so... it looks like the what's the word? Like the paint is moving.
Yeah. That's a...
Do you know what I mean there?
Did you notice the lips on it?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the lips as well, and they're like little weird flowers coming out of it. Are they tongues or snakes?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know what... There's an eye on it as well. If you see at the bottom arm, there's like a weird eye hidden in there.
Middle.
Yeah.
It
reminds me...
I initially thought the eye was that kind of weird dark hole thing.
No. The eye's just below it, near the thread of blue with the red roses.
You're saying the eye's that thing. It's uncomfortable to look at. It's such a weird... It looks like... do you know what it also looks like for anyone who watches the Big Les show? It looks like a Shuma, what are they called?
Oh, Shuma.
Do you remember the Big Les show?
The Homer Simpson shit?
The yellow animals.
They're Homer Simpson.
Remember them?
Yeah, I remember them, yeah. It
looks a bit like the kind of the weird shape of them. It looks like that.
It reminds me of... do you ever see the film Midsommar? Midsommar. That's how it's... Well, I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm trying to sound fancy, but this is...
I haven't watched a movie in years. Honestly, like my attention span cannot do it.
But this is known as The Hinterland by Glenn Brown, who's a British artist. He's kind of known for doing this thing where like he'll get like an image of something like Renaissance and then kind of change the color and add all these like textures and crazy to it. So he's like appropriating images, essentially, is the way to put it. Which I suppose is kind of a very modern way of painting, but these are meant to represent humans, which I think is bizarre. I always feel like this kind of looks like a face on a really limp neck. If you can see where the second hand,
do you know what it looks like? Do you know in Toy Story like 2, 3 or whatever, when Mr. Potato Head gets all fucked up and they end up putting Mr. Potato Head back together, his eyes are here. It's Mr. Potato Head.
I think I'd love to see your man's reaction saying that's how we interpret it. But it is like, it's creepy, but he talks about art as if he says that painting is a form of motion and he's obsessed with nature. So like you kind of have these and he thinks it's painting as a new form of flesh, which is another thing. But I just put it in because it just is creepy. It's just creepy, like it. But I think it looks like a face. So if you can follow me here, so see the arm that come around at the leftmost side. I think that looks like the nose.
The little kind of like creepy little.
Yeah,
arm.
the creepy little kind of like take my strong hand arm. And then if you go further down, that line is like his mouth, and then it kind of keeps coming down, and then like the neck. And then almost like the second arm is representing his ear. Almost like this, if you notice, there's like an ear kind of shape near it. But I might just be seeing stuff in it that I want to see. But I do think it looks like a face, but it like covered in grass and shit that's melted. But yeah, that was the one that I added today. I was just like, well, let's put this one in just because it's freaky.
All I'm seeing it like, the more I look at it, is the black hole, like the kind of asshole looking thing. The more I look at it, if you look at it kind of up to down, I just see a sunfish now.
Okay, well, we'll title that one Sunfish.
It also looks like a weird acorn with legs.
With legs? Where are the legs?
It looks like the thing is the shape.
I get it. I get
it's
the
an
acorn
shape,
thing, yeah, and then there's kind of like something like holding it up, almost like a
Then-
podium. Very strange legs.
Yeah, it's an acorn.
But it's called Hinterland, which
Or like,
I don't know what that, I never knew what that meant.
Humpty Dumpty. Fucked up Humpty Dumpty.
How could you get more fucked up than Humpty Dumpty? That's a really disturbing Humpty Dumpty. But yeah, supposedly the titles of his
Well, I got you said it was about motion. I can see the motion in the picture.
I don't think
I
don't think it's really meant to be about anything. I just find it like he just says that painting is meant to be. He's obsessed with nature, and he finds that nature is like a new form of like skin almost. So if no painting in nature,
I'm not seeing the nature of it.
well, it kind of looks
Nothing like this.
it kind of
It
looks
looks like this in
plant-like, I suppose. But yeah, it is creepy.
What fucking plants are you looking at?
What are you talking about? There's fucking flowers on the top of it.
Okay, sorry. The three roses coming off the left arm, or
It looks like it's covered in like
the
a
arm at
thick
the bottom
moss.
and the
No,
two roses coming out. I'm seeing like what's that? I'm seeing like that Pokemon Muck, or Muck
Mudkip.
or Sludge.
Really?
No,
Like Slimer
Muck.
or not Slimer? Slimer.
I'm seeing like when I look at this, I'm instantly thinking like toxic sludge. Even though no one knows what toxic sludge looks like, I'm thinking toxic sludge. Honestly, that's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at.
We're firing off on completely different cylinders today. I think it looks like
I
moss.
I don't see how you see nature in this. I see the opposite.
Moss
of
and
nature.
foliage is what I think it looks like.
No, I see like I said, like nuclear waste.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Yeah, we'll let the
audience decide.
We'll let the millions of listeners. We'll let the millions of listeners decide.
We'll do a vote. We'll do a vote at the end.
Toxic sludge.
So if you want to go to the next slide there and let me know what you think of this one.
I will. Oh, this is loud and proud.
So there's two photos here, by the way.
It's
Just
a big exhibition.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two.
There's two
Will I look
photos.
at the first one first?
You can
or
look at
give my
both of them, so
opinion
you'll
and
get a
then
bit
go?
more of an opinion of what it's like.
Okay. But it's a giant exhibition. Yeah. Okay. Looks okay. So it's for people you podcasters. It is a giant room, with kind of columns of numbers that essentially look like a physical description of the Matrix, but in color. Like, sorry, when I say the Matrix, I mean
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
computer
The
code.
binary kind of
Like code. You know, that binary 101000. It looks really, really cool. Is it real?
Yeah.
Like, were all these numbers hung like that?
It is real, and you could walk through it, which was equally impressive.
It's cool. It's very cool. Yeah, it's incredible.
Can you imagine?
Do you know what? The funny thing about this all is the thing that makes me actually think it's not real is the. Do you know when you see like a design for a new building?
Yeah.
And they plug in people to make it seem like a bit more realistic. The people don't look real.
You're one sitting on the table.
They don't look
Okay,
real.
they don't look real.
Oh yeah, no, it literally just looks like just cut out and plotted in like.
What I actually think is amazing about this, if you notice, there's no walls to hang it up on, or there's no there's no separators or anything. Like it's a flat thing displayed the way that it is. Like it's obviously suspended. But this is a French artist called Emmanuelle Moreau, I think is her name. But she does this was a first in a series called 100 Colors, the 100 Colors series. So there's 100 colors in that installation, which is it looks like there's more, but
I thought there was only 5.
It's inspired by. I thought there's only 5. There's different shades for each one. Oh, you're messing. You're messing. But there's no apps. There's no walls or partitions. It's inspired by Japanese spatial elements such as sliding screens. So the sliding scenes doors. Supposedly that's what she's inspired in, and she calls her work. She calls her work Shikiri, not Shakira, Shikiri, which she calls Shikiri dividing and creating space through colors. I thought that was a pretty cool term. As where it came from. It turns out it's a made up word. She made it up herself. But she says that she uses colors as.
I feel like something this grand deserves a new word.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's used to use colors as three-dimensional elements like layers in order to create spaces, and she certainly pulls that off. I would highly recommend looking at her other stuff as well. It's class, but this was as a commemorate. So it was this is from her website, because she's a relatively new artist, I think. But the National Art Center Tokyo was celebrating its 10th anniversary in January. As a commemoration, it presented the museum's activities of the past 10 years in the special exhibition gallery room, which was superimposed with a large installation called Forest of Numbers, symbolization of the last 10 years to come, of the next 10 years to come. Used without any partition walls for the first time, the 2,000 square meters wide cube exhibition room becomes a canvas of the installation, filled with 100 colors, inspiring emotion, which becomes the largest installation of Emmanuel's work. She's gone on to do different versions of this that are. I don't think she did anyone bigger, but like this is. I keep looking at. I found it recently. It was just like, Jesus amazing. Christ! Like imagine walking through it.
You know, one of these things that I find amazing about artists, and I think it's so cool, is how. Say more for the second photo, is how beautifully blended it looks all the time, and how someone knows how to, especially in this thing that we're looking at, is like twos and zeros and whatever.
Look how big it is as well.
It's not all numbers, is it? It's all numbers. Yeah, no, it is
all numbers. Yeah,
but I just find it so cool how people know exactly where to place colors to make it blend perfectly.
It's a spectrum, which is amazing. Like it is.
I know, but
how the fuck? Look, I wouldn't have a notion how to go about doing that. Like the level of work, and
how the fuck can you do that?
And then the other thing is like she's made like sphere versions of it. She's made all these like tons of crazy different versions of it. But
so she's a one-trick pony. She's a one-trick pony. She's a one-trick.
Hey, look! If that was your trick, you'd be parading all around the world.
What's her name?
Emmanuelle Moreau.
What's her name?
Emmanuelle Moreau.
Moreau, get me more. Come up with something more.
Yeah.
This isn't enough. 2,000 square meters or foot, whatever it is. All right, we get it.
Oh, so a yay or a nay on that one?
That's beautiful.
Okay, and we'll go from that being beautiful.
I don't think I'll ever have a house.
Go from that being beautiful to the next slide, which is the most controversial slide, I'd say.
Yes. I know this.
Oh, do you know? You know, that's how famous this piece is.
Yeah, exactly. This is how this is the exactly kind of stuff that would come into my timeline and my algorithm. This is the dude who just duct taped a banana to the wall and people started taking photos.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And apparently this is first of a series of 3.
This perfectly describes how I view art. Is in stupid art pricks think this is art.
It's not even a ripe banana. Like
no, but I mean, but Barrett, but then like not people like you, but like you bloody art nerds, but like someone's gonna walk along and go, oh, it's not ripe, and there's a reason why it's not, like a pristine banana, and it's bruised and it's damaged. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I guarantee you, someone who took a photo of this, not knowing that it was just like a joke, was like, oh, I wonder why it's
funny you say that. Do you know what it's titled? It's titled The Comedian. So it is a meme thing. Do you know how much it's sold for?
It is a meme.
Oh yeah, of course it's a meme. Well, it is. It literally is a meme. It became a meme. But its intention was obviously a meme.
Is the person who put it up an artist? Like, does he or she do anything else?
I think he's like a satirist, but I think he is an artist. Yeah, Maurizo Catalan is his name.
Yeah, no, I've seen this. This is brilliant. Yeah. The better one is the photo of whoever's like they've got their camera, like proper camera, and they're taking photos.
Oh, but do you know how much it's sold for?
It fucking sold. This is brilliant.
It sold for $120,000. $120,000 for a banana taped to a wall. Oh, and I was trying to find a quote on the artist talking about it, what was it? So this is what the person who owns the gallery displaying it told CBS News. It goes, whether it's because apparently it's a comment on consumerism, and it goes, whether affixed to the wall of an art fair booth or no, sorry, it's about the importance of objects changes depending on the context. So whether affixed to the wall of an art fair booth or displayed on the cover of the New York Post, his work forces us to question how value is placed on material goods. The spectacle is as much a part of the work as the banana.
That sounds like an art gallery owner who is panicked and is like, I've been duped. I got to make this turn into something like. Because he's used language there to make me go, oh, I see his point. But like, no, this guy is just like, fuck, I'm going to turn this into something when it's not anything. Do you know, it's someone ripping the piss.
It's funny you say that because I kind of liked it after reading that. I've fallen for the trap.
I know, but I felt I had that little moment. I get it. But no, that sounds like an owner or a gallery owner going, I got to turn this into something.
Yeah, but it is kind of like
that's all that guy
said. It reminds me of like the Millie Brown thing in that.
No, I think like I get his point. I do completely get his point.
Yeah,
like his point is, a banana on a shopping aisle in Lidl is a banana on a shopping aisle in Lidl, but then it's something else when you stick it to a wall and then or if it's way more important to someone who's dying of hunger. If you give someone a banana, it's got way more material value. I get his stupid roundabout point. But this person was ripping the piss out of art galleries.
Oh yeah, that's all. But I actually think it reminds me of Millie Brown in that some idiot fucking bought it. Do you remember Millie Brown was the one who got sick on canvases that had? Some idiot bought it, which goes to show that like supposedly it's like a comment on like the absurdities of capitalism.
Stranger Things. Girl.
Yes.
Fair play to her.
But it's like some people have just too much money. Like it's ridiculous. Like
I know
$120,000 like for something that you could recreate in your home. Do you know, it's not like it's not like a completely unique experience. And supposedly it's in a series of 3. So there's going to be 2 more of these. So buckle up. They just get more riper.
I'm waiting for like nothing like an overripe pear. Nothing worse than an overripe pear.
He buys like a state-of-the-art brand of tape. So the premium goes up even further. It's a darker shade of black.
Premium duck. Nice. Oh, Gorilla Tape. The Gorilla Tape.
Oh yeah. And then Gorilla Glue at the very end of it all. It doesn't even have tape. It's just a banana.
Unbelievable, man. We've cracked it.
Oh, I actually thought you were. I thought you were going to go a bit more ham on it, but yeah, it's just dumb. It's really
no. It's like I say, probably what's corrupted it is the fact that I knew it was before.
Do you know? I actually forget how famous that piece actually is because it's so famous. Yeah,
but because it's meme. So anything that's quick digestible content, I've probably seen.
But it did remind. Do you know what brought it to my attention was Owen DeForge said to put it on. He was the first. Owen DeForge and his girlfriend Alexi.
Owen said
to put it in. Yeah, but and so did Alexi. But
like it like I said, as you mentioned, you won the Millie Brown. It appeals to me the fact that this person made money off it.
Oh yeah.
It's
some idiot bought it. But it reminds me of I don't know if I mentioned this in the last podcast. I might have done, but it was the. Did you ever hear of the person who set up an exhibition space and it was invisible? Like there's no, and somebody bought a piece in it for 80 grand, but it's an invisible sculpture. There's nothing there. It's just a podium with nothing on it, and somebody bought it for 80 grand. And then there was like that's one case where I'm just like that's gone even further than this. But I obviously couldn't show you that in this. I was going to put it in, but I was like, there's no point putting this because it's just be a blank thing. But then the other one was
I'd love to see the person who spent the 80 grand his or hers fucking house explanation for it.
But the other one was
is in like.
Oh yeah, it's just because it became a thing. Like it just became like this is the reason why I think the only reason why anybody bought this was because they saw the attraction that it was starting to get. When I have to get the banana on the wall, It's like it reminds me of like, you know, when's the NFT.
More of an NFT.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You know, when the NFT went for Charlie Bit My Finger, now everybody's buying NFTs for crazy prices for other viral videos. But there was another viral exhibition that I saw where there was no pieces in it, and somebody actually set up the article as kind of a joke to see which news sites would report on it as if it was an actual exhibition. So it was made as a piss take to comment on how ridiculous modern art has gotten. And people took the bait hook, line, and sinker and wrote like, this is, you know, transcending what the space actually means and all this kind of bullshit.
It'd be funny to see art in 50 years when it actually might go back to actual like proper physical shapes and recognizable shapes.
I don't
and
think it
stuff
will.
like
I think we're kind of
like it could completely.
I don't think we're.
It could regress. It could.
I don't know. It's difficult to say.
The internet world, whenever everyone's looking back after the apocalypse, Jamie Boyd called it first. Art's going to regress.
We'll move on to the final artist of the one.
Is this the final
This
piece?
is the final piece now. What do you think of this?
Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, I do get a Cthulhu vibe
Do you
off
know-
it. Yeah. I get a Cthulhu vibe off it.
Yeah, Cthulhu. So Cthulhu.
Our Lord and Savior.
It is a metallic. It's my Lord and Savior. It's a metallic octopus squid thing. I'd like. It's
Metallic octopus squid thing, I think, is the best thing it could have gone for.
yeah. It's disgusting to look at, but like in a kind of provocative, exciting way.
Mhm.
No, yeah.
What would you be surprised if I told
I've
you?
seen those skulls. The more I look.
Yeah, would you be surprised if I told you it was used for a heavy metal album cover?
No, not at all. I knew the heavy metal album cover was
Going
coming
at
at
the
the
end,
end. I knew it was coming.
Do you want to know what it is?
Cthulhu.
So this is the album cover for Melon Chasmata by Triptychon, but it's
Yes.
yeah, you know who they are. Oh, did you not? Okay, well, moving on.
I'm joking, Barry. You're still going to tell the fucking
I'm still gonna tell the
story
story, but I won't. But basically, I actually put this guy in because I'm not. I do like this piece, but I actually put it in because this is one of my favorite artists from when I was younger. This is H.R. Geiger who painted this. Who, if you go to the next slide, came up with this design, which was famously used in what film?
Looks like Alien.
Yeah, he was the guy who created the Alien. He created all the whole kind of style of it. That's literally the Alien in the Xenomorph is what's called in the Alien films is literally taken from his nightmares. But I think you can, if you look at the alien's head, I think you can see that they changed the design of the back of his head because in the original image, it looks like a penis.
And 100%. There's way more.
And in the original drawings, not the thing that comes out of his mouth, that was also a penis, and in its tail, that's also a penis.
Yeah.
I bought his books when I was really, really, really young. Like when I was 14 or 15, when I really liked him. I never realized just how much penises he has in his drawings. All of them have penises in them.
I don't understand. Your dad's a good Catholic man. How do you let you buy this film?
No, I bought this off Amazon, and because I just bought it. I was like, oh, he's the guy who did He's the guy. I had no idea. He's the guy who did Alien, and he has like these landscapes where it's like these mounds, and it looked like these mounds, and then this tube going into it, and I was just like, that's a penis going into an ass, but he's drawn it as like he's obsessed with them, and they're everywhere. And he did a lot of album covers. He did one for even Blondie, I think. But the only reason I put it in just because I just think he's a fantastic artist. But I just find it hilarious that the guy had this fixation with penises and every single even in the landscape, the next one that you see, I still feel like those two pillars at the very front are penises. There's something very phallic about the thing at the side as well, the very left side.
No, you're seeing penises.
No, I'm not. They're there.
You're seeing penises.
But so the cover that he did that thing for Triptychon, Melon Chasmata, that was the guy who's a singer for that band was actually his manager, I think, or his assistant for like 20 years. Oh, Kitty! But
Kitty's in.
Opinions on H.R. Geiger's work?
It's dark. The shades in the first of it remind me of a Caravaggio painting. Do you know that really from the Renaissance one?
What's the technique used? I actually say that it reminds me of. It looks like the shell of the back of the cockroach.
But it's one of those like.
Oh yeah,
like
the dark shade.
Like a spotlight only on one.
Yeah.
There's only like a spotlight on one part
like
of the
Sacrafiore, so I can't remember the name. It doesn't matter. But it is a gross. It's a gross image.
Oh, it's disgusting. This thing is disgusting, the first one. I don't know what it is. No, it's nasty as hell.
It looks like a cockroach back, I always thought.
I like him. Definitely. Do you know what? It's going in the guest bedroom, but it's only going up when I'm inviting someone over to the house. Bono. And I fucking hate it.
It's going beside Bono.
Beside Bono. So there's going to be this one guest bedroom, and it's like, I don't know, like, my wife is this one friend, and I fucking hate him. And she's like, you know, oh, Paul's coming over. I'm like, I fucking hate Paul. Paul's staying in this house. And I put all this shit up. All right, that's where it's going in that room.
Jesus, you must really hate Paul.
Like everyone's going to think it's like Jamie's weird king for him. It's like, no, this is just the room where I go to freak out Paul. What do you hate Paul? Do you hate Paul?
Oh, Paul must have done. What would Paul do to deserve such a fate? Just be Paul.
There's always. I mean, no, man. My heart's filled with hate.
I'm deep and dark, and I'm filled with hate. So I guess we'll do. I don't really have much more to say on the images. I guess we'll do the final thing. Which ones you'd buy, or even just which ones. I don't think you'll buy any of these, but which ones you'd like.
Well, in fairness, what's different from this year, was there were a lot more visually pleasing ones. I mean, I remember from the last one, I was just like,
yeah.
Like I remember let me get it up again. Hang on, let me just check your messages. Yeah, there's a lot more visually pleasing ones compared to last time.
But
do you not think?
I do, and I definitely think I actually put. I would say that I put a bit more effort into picking these ones than I did last ones because, I feel like these ones, while visually pleasing, you can also talk about them for ages. Like there's plenty to talk about in each one of them. It's not just
yeah. There's more to talk about.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just gonna get the file from last one.
I can't remember what was on the last ones actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was
like a Picasso, then we had Mary and John trying to get the bed sheets done, then Stranger Things girl with the throwing up.
Lovely.
There was a couple, like I only liked a few.
You
in the
liked
previous
the
one, like
Samuel Beckett one, and Manny Jellett, which was funnily enough, the two Irish artists that were on that. There's only one Irish artist on this one.
Yeah. But on this one, like urinal, I get it. I still don't. Sorry, I get the purpose of it. Is in like, let's think about this all differently. I still don't get the conceptual and thoughtfulness of it. So no, I'm not getting the urinal. As we both agreed, the simplistic one is nice and it looks very nice and it's simplistic and nice to look at. Yeah, so it'd go up.
All right, Matisse.
Number 3 is your Irish artist. I forget his name. Which you think is really structured and well thought out. I think the only thing that's structured about it is the rectangles, and that's where you couldn't answer that question, and you panicked.
Abstract expressionism.
And said something ridiculous like, absolutely, shove it up my asshole. Wasn't it? It's still visually very nice to look at.
Yeah.
And then the girls one where her husband turns it into the JJs are very nice. A lot of these would go up in the house.
I'd love that one in my house. The music with pink and blue, lovely.
And then the depression one with the girl who had sex with the Grinch. I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but
I'd be questioning.
I relate to it.
Yeah,
I get.
I'd be questioning you severely.
I think it's very real.
Yeah, no, it's as real as you can possibly get because it's basically like, you know, it is exactly what it is like.
Like it looks like my room on a Tuesday after a bank holiday if I've had a bad bank holiday. Like, You know,
It's
just a bit
very
sad.
bad. So
Hated this fucking Iron Curtain
I
red
really-
orange
I
bullshit.
can't believe
Like
you
I
hate Jean-Claude
fucking
and Christo.
never hated. I hated it. Hated it. No, John Claude.
And Christo.
No.
I can't believe you.
And then the killer one. No.
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 Well, you wouldn't put that up in your house
No.
anyway, regardless if you liked
No.
it or not. Not even as a joke.
Very
Not
true.
even as a joke on poor
Could
Paul.
go, it could go in Paul's room. Yeah, it could go in Paul's room. For Paul's room. We'll
Yeah,
get
okay,
it for Paul's room.
Okay, right
Yeah,
beside
for
Bono.
Yeah, right beside Bono. So you'd be tripping out there looking at Killer Lady or Bono. Like.
So I forget what
Um,
this one was called actually.
Then me and you did not agree on. We didn't agree on.
No, we didn't. You
this
thought it was sludge.
sunfish
It's called a
thing.
hinterland. You called it sludge. I said it looked like foliage. But we'll agree to disagree.
No, I'm seeing sludge. I'd love to see when you talk to people about it, or whoever listens to this or watches this, what they actually think. All I'm seeing is sludge, like,
I don't see that at all. Anyway,
especially the top
I
half.
don't see it. Like,
But no, no.
and what about?
This Japanese one's amazing. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna quite fit it in, but it does look great.
Just stuff all the letters into the numbers into like a big room.
Just a big file, like.
Put them in Janet's room.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I like that. Like I said, I don't get how people can do it. Is in those subtle shades to make shit look different.
No, it's mental.
Barry, do you know what I feel like I've done wrong in this episode? Is I've actually appreciated the art too much.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing.
I think you've changed me, man.
Well,
Making me talk for 2 or 3 hours about art has made me go, oh, that's all right.
but that like I don't know how.
Am I changing?
I don't know.
Am I developing? Am I developing as a human being? Have you made me develop as a human? being?
I'll pick really shitty ones next time we do this. If we do another one, I'm sure we will.
Good.
Um,
Like I said, when we were kind of discussing to do this, I tried to find like sports people who did art. Fuck all.
is there?
Loads of sports people who've done music. Yeah, fuck all of people who've done art. There's loads who've done like music and acting.
Imagine
and stuff,
Roy
but yeah,
Keane
fuck
doing
all
art.
have done art. I was really surprised. I literally like tried all the keywords like sports person, American sports person who has done art, like everything, nothing.
There has to.
Really
there has
surprised.
to, I have to try and find one. It'll probably be somebody we both don't know, but like I do find that surprising.
That's the thing.
Like, surely
Yeah,
when you
like,
retire-
there was a few things. Like there was a few.
You would have thought they would even done.
That's what I would have
Yeah.
thought.
That's bizarre.
But like it seems when they there's a few who've done acting, you know, like Vinnie Jones is the most obvious
O.J.
one,
Simpson.
but then there's quite a lot of American sports stars who do rapping. Like there's a lot of American sports stars who rap like in career.
Yeah,
yeah, fuck all
Shaq has a
done
rap
art.
song out, and so, but did you
Shaq
know
had
did you know
allowed
that
the-
O.J. Simpson had a rap song?
I mean, he was like
No, this was after.
before
This was
the-
after.
the-
This was after the murder charge. He also had a hidden camera show, which I thought was terrifying. Can you imagine, like, it was really, really, really bad taste. Like he'd show up in like a white Bronco, or like he'd show up behind. He's like, "Hey, it's OJ, everybody."
Oh,
Yeah, it was
no.
really. When I found that out, I can't find any kind of things of it, but there was a bit. He did it in a bid to get money back.
The
After.
90s were bad.
The 90s were a very bad time. I don't think there's not much.
Weren't they?
Yeah, there's not much. The only good thing I can there's very few things good I can say about the 90s, but like Typo Negative being a band was probably
Westlife.
good. 9 Inch Nails. What?
Westlife.
Westlife. Yeah, Westlife.
Were Westlife
Yeah,
90s?
they definitely. Oh,
No, they weren't.
oh. No, you
2000
sure?
maybe.
Hmm.
Boy bands in general was one of the good things about the 90s. I don't know if
Backstreet Boys.
Westlife specifically came from
NSYNC. We had JT.
Sync, Backstreet Boys, Take That.
Take That were
Late
great.
90s?
Take That were good.
I'd say they
Yeah,
were. Yeah, boy bands were good.
yeah, because you know stick them on at like 3 o'clock in the morning, have a bit of a laugh with them. They're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But besides that, the 90s didn't do great.
no, very yeah. We talked about that we talked about in the last episode as well. It was very I just feel like everybody was out to get each other in a weird, bizarre. It was a very strange time, and the fashion was horrendous.
Well, the fashion's back, man.
Yeah, the fashion is back. You go down South
The
William Street and
90s
you see, yeah.
It's all bloody baggy clothes. I won't get that. I'll never understand
Parachute
these
pants.
kids, Barra. Parachute pants are literally back.
I've seen people wear them.
How did we get on?
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll get back onto
know,
it. Would you
yeah.
buy a banana taped to a wall, also known as the comedian?
I mean, yeah, I would, but that was the only piece of art I've recognized in the
Would you actually buy
the
it?
2 episodes.
If you had the cash, would you actually buy it?
Sorry, no.
Okay.
Sorry, no.
And I wouldn't ask you to buy any of HR
Well,
Geiger's
sorry,
stuff.
it's the only one I recognized.
And finally, would you buy anything by
no.
HR Geiger? Do you not see a penis in the final one? There's definitely a penis to the side. You're making me feel
No
insecure
penis.
about it now.
But honestly, I do
cocks
not see a
everywhere.
penis. I see penises in the second last and then the third last. Yeah, see your penises. I see your penises, but the last one, no.
There's definitely a penis. It doesn't matter. All right, Jamie. Well,
Well, it does matter because I feel like there's
one to the
some
left.
issues we can get
There
into.
is one to the left. Like the very left. It looks, yeah. To the like the structure coming out. It's like a big, curvy one. No. No, okay, well we'll end it there. I can't believe this has to go out. There's definitely one there.
You're like the kid from
I know, just
Superbad, man.
penises everywhere. Oh, I'm 26 years of age.
Oh, man, we're thriving. This is what living is.
Anyway, thank you so much for doing this, man. As always, much appreciated. Had a great laugh. Hope you had a good time too. We will be doing a video for.
I had a great time. Great time.
Yeah. Did you? And you? I think you enjoyed the pieces more than you did last time as well. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I think you've changed me and made me like art a bit too much. So we'll have to get a bit weirder with the next one, if the ratings will allow it. But yeah, no, I did like a lot more of the
We didn't get cancelled for the first one.
The millions
so.
of listeners. All right, just keep saying millions. Keep saying
There are
millions of
there
listeners.
are
and
millions
people
of
will believe
listeners.
There are millions.
My dad listens to it on repeat.
Good.
But
Good.
But sure, we'll leave it there because
fair
we've
enough.
gone way over time because it was meant to be an hour and it's an hour and 40 minutes. I'll leave your sitting room. But thanks so much, man, and I will chat to you later. Thank you for coming
Cheers,
on.
Graham.
Much appreciated. And we'll leave it there. Bye bye.